Welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a twin flame reading. We'll probably do two for October because I did something different for this reading. I actually took two decks and I mixed them together. Trust me, that was not easy to do and just look at it. But I want to look for synchronicity. So we're going to do this as one spread today. In our next one, we'll do the masculine and the feminine. But even, I just want you to know in every reading, I'm not looking at just one side. I want to know the picture, right? The whole picture. So, anyways, I'm doing this in the evening, which I kind of like. We have, 5 or 6 planets in retrograde, and I have to say, normally that can be like, I can feel the energy of the retrogrades, but in the same breath, I want to say that retrogrades many times do bring people back together. So a lot of different planets in retrograde that will be going direct in August, in October, at various times. So I don't know. I kind of feel like that's good news for those in a twin flame relationship. Now, doesn't mean you come together in October, but maybe, the spark begins, something ignites, that type of thing. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And, I just like to say in my readings what I believe a twin flame relationship is about two souls that come down to earth. You can say one soul that then splits, right? I feel like meant to split. Why? Because each has to go on their own journey. I just feel like my guides tell me that it's not very often that the twins come together early in life and, then stay together forever. Because it is through their experiences where they gain empathy and compassion and understanding for each other, because ultimately we are each other's mirror. So you gotta, it can be, that reflection can be very difficult if you haven't dealt with it within yourself. But when you've already dealt with it within yourself and you see it, then you recognize it very quickly, and it can make all the difference in the world. So that is my belief, that it can take time. Sometimes you can meet and then separate and then come back together. I know that is my story, and it's a 40-year difference, but nonetheless, it happened unexpectedly. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. We're going to start with our Mother Mary Oracle deck. Why not, right? I want to remind you that, again, that these readings are, when I say timeless, I mean that we're all in different places along the journey, though I feel like we're all soul connected. So, we're all going through this journey, but at different times. And maybe that's why we come together, so we can help each other navigate what maybe I didn't understand beforehand, that type of thing. Okay, we have boundaries. Boundaries. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. It's funny because what came to my mind real quick was, I'm not a mind reader. Like, I can hear someone saying, like, I'm not a mind reader. So I don't know. We'll see what that means. We'll read it at the end, and it will, it's always profound, I feel. Okay, so I used 2 different decks here, very thick. They have been shuffled and shuffled, but I'm going to go ahead and just give them a couple shuffles with you here. Not the easiest thing to navigate for my little hands. Okay, we're not going to keep these, but we have the Chariot, and then we have the Eight of Swords. It feels to me like someone is afraid to go ahead with something, or it could be like I'm stepping in front of this chariot, I'm blocking this chariot. The Eight talks about self. This is a self-created prison, so only you can uncreate it. I can beg my guides to uncreate it for me, but they cannot do it. You have to do it. So potentially this could be someone who is just standing in front of the chariot. The good news about this is if you created it, you can uncreate it. It gives you much more control, let's say, over time. Okay, let me do a couple more shuffles. Then we'll do a cut. And then we'll get into it. I want to thank you ahead of time for the thumbs up. If you enjoy the reading, if you enjoy this new spread that I'm doing, thank you for subscribing. Just thank you for being here. This is not an easy journey by any means. I don't feel like it's meant to be. I just don't feel like it's meant to be. Now, same breath, I want to say I feel like my guides have told me and shown me through many, many readings that in no way are we meant to wait for something to come along. Be busy living your own life, because something like this, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And if someone is not treating you with what with the utmost respect, what you deserve, then that may be what the boundaries talks about. So sometimes someone else may not be ready, and maybe I just gotta let them not be ready while I go and pursue my life in other directions. I feel like many twins end up marrying soulmates. So I don't know, but anyways, okay, let's get into this. Let's see what happens with all these cards. Now, the reason why I'm doing it is I really want to see the synchronicities. We have the Nine of Cups as our opening cup. That's a good energy. I mean, that's when you're feeling happy inside, joyful inside. I feel like that's the energy when you're grateful for what you have, what's in front of you. It's like she opens up this chest and there's a treasure in it. Look at this. We have the Six of Cups. So, this is someone, which would be a twin, of course, that you do have very happy memories about. Some of you could have met, when you were children, during that time period, when you were still home in the neighborhood type of thing. We have Temperance. Well, Temperance is fitting from what I was getting in the beginning, right? Because this is all about divine timing. Things happening in divine time. That means at the right time. When is the right time? The right time. Temperance says to have patience, allow things to develop fully. Again, maybe it's because of that mirror. I think I want it now, but, and then all these ugly things raise themselves up in these mirrors that cause conflict that maybe doesn't have to be there. So it's really an art of patience, heavenly patience. And it's about trust. It's about letting go of control of when something must show. Because honestly, I don't know that we had that much control. Also, card of Sagittarius. We have the Ten of Swords. Interesting. It's like that Ten of Swords is saying, the swords are in this person's back, and they are like, it has caused them, looks like total submission. This is normally about other people. It can be issues. that then work on my nerves, my mental, my mental, what am I trying to say? My mind. But again, it's usually based, it's the energy of being very sensitive to other people's opinions, other people's words, other people's negativity about you. And I feel like it talks about a lifetime of taking it on. Like I've been taking it on, sword after sword after sword. Mother Mary comes out with the boundaries, right? Almost like I need to be clear and honest about what I will take and what I won't take. So I feel like Temperance is saying this is the energy that, like these swords, if they remain in your back, then even if this came in, it would be a very difficult thing, because all those swords would show again. So maybe this talks about a time period of looking at each one. Like, doesn't even matter what their opinion was, that type of thing. How's it affected my self-confidence? This person just feels like I'm mentally out of it. Anyway, we have the Prince of Swords. Can be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have the Hermit, card of Virgo. So right now we have Major Arcana Virgo and Sagittarius. The Hermit's coming right under the Six of Cups. We have the Emperor. Interesting that we have 3 major arcanas now. Aries, coming under Temperance. I feel like Temperance is also saying, with the Emperor coming right underneath her, that many of us are learning how to be leaders. Leaders, leaders of the world, leaders in our own world, in our own little world. I feel like it's an energy that we live up to, and probably can't happen in the Ten of Swords. I feel like by the time I get to that Ten of Swords, I am crawling out of it. But as long as I'm at least heading in the right direction, that's all that Divine asks. And then we have, well, right there, I do this all the time. It's like, why don't I look at the card in my hand? Because I feel like I start to talk about it. So the Two of Wands. Two Wands is a new direction, a new way. Two Wands is where you're putting you first again, right? This is about your desires, your passions. It's a viewpoint. It's an optimistic viewpoint. Even if I don't know what's going to happen, it's taking a chance on you. So that feels very important. I'm looking at the Emperor and he's looking over at the Two of Wands. So they're looking at each other. And then the Hermit is looking towards this page. But the page, and they're both looking back. So I feel like it's very important. Like the wisdom that I feel like each, with Temperance, it's each, right? Because it's the balance of the masculine and the feminine. So I feel like, each finding their own beacon of light, becoming the Hermit. I don't know that you can be in a twin flame relationship and have like a deceptive kind of life, because I feel like it'll be seen too quickly, that type of thing. I don't know why I'm saying that, other than I see this Hermit looking back at this Prince, almost like there's a growth that happens from the Prince to the Hermit, and then it moves into the Emperor's energy. And this is where, if nothing else, I'm leading my own life. Very strong type energy. I like the wisdom that the Hermit gains and the strength of the Emperor. The Emperor is the one who puts the plan in place, is looking forward, by the way, is looking forward. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get 4 more, and then we have the 8 of Cups. It kind of showed like, but I think it's in the upright. You'll know. You know, the Eight of Cups is, again, self. And it's about looking at your emotional self, your emotional well-being. How have these 10 swords affected you emotionally? What are you hanging on to that you don't need to be? Really, it's just weight that you don't need. The Nine of Cups opens the reading, so I feel like if nothing else, it's the potential, right? Like there's certain boundaries and ties and energy that we may need to understand and sometimes walk away from. That brings us to really our own joy. I feel like sometimes we don't even know it until we get there. You know, it's like going through divorce and the hell of all that, right? But then, you know, fast forward 2 years and it's like, wow, my life is just completely different and everything is, you know, like I feel great. Now, your old self 2 years ago wouldn't have believed it. So, anyways, the Eight of Cups is that energy. It's the understanding of the emotional house and not carrying it with you. All right, we have the Death card. Card of Scorpio. Another major arcana. Ending, right? Look at that emotional house, then close that door. I don't need to revisit the pain of the past because this also shows me that there's very treasured memories. Also, you know, maybe I've never met this person yet, but then I feel like this would be talking of, you know, of life, of not just life, but like eternity. Like that's always going to be there. Well, we have the Ace of Cups coming under Temperance and then the Emperor, now the Ace of Cups, and hello, we have the Two of Cups. Ace of Cups right next to the Two of Cups. Now, I know this is a twin flame reading, and Two Cups really represents a soulmate, but it doesn't matter. This is talking about the love. I mean, look at them. They're hand in hand, right? Hand in hand. You know, the energy of both cups becoming one. This is opening my heart center so that this love can reach me, right? So that I can receive. I have to learn to give, but I also have to learn to receive. Allow yourself to receive this, right? Interesting, it's coming after the Death card because I feel the weight of that Ten of Swords. I feel it. And I feel like, yes, it affected you mentally, but I feel like emotionally also. You know, and you may be someone who's what, you know, some call sensitive or an empath, where you feel like you feel energy very deeply. I know I do. You know, and I've learned to control it. But, you know, and when you feel it very deeply, you can take things very personally that aren't always what they seem. Look at this. We have the Four of Swords coming over this Two of Cups. Wow. By the way, two, and then four. There's a healing coming over this love. And, you know, the heart is outside of this person. So I feel like it's the healing of self first. It's important to heal self first. It's almost like I put my heart outside myself and I let divine heal that. And while divine's healing that, I'm healing this. But listen, it's coming over the Two of Cups. So clearly both are receiving this healing. And the two feels like perhaps that means both are now in movement. Okay, well, let's see what we have at the bottom of this big pile. We have the Seven of Swords. Interesting. So, this is on the bottom. And what that means to me is this is the underlying energy, or the energy that can be cleared if I allow it. Seven of Swords is very tricky. Oh, that's the Knight of Swords, first of all. Okay, I thought it was the Seven. But that can also be tricky energy. This person feels like they're running away from one thing to jump on their bike to feel freedom, right? To feel the wind in their hair. I feel like it's important. And then I'm feeling just the blackness of the bird. So I know it means many different things, but I do feel like it's the weight. It's the weight that's been like holding people down. And it's almost like someone running from it, beating it. And I feel like you will. A knight is always on a mission, and this knight is on the mission of swords, which is about communication. My mental, I want to say agility, my mental stability, maybe. My knowing. With the Hermit here, this tells me you have the opportunity to really grow and learn, um, really how to use your spirituality here on this earthly plane. The Emperor to me feels very like, at this, like I'm being proactive in this lifetime on this active plane. The Hermit to me feels like I am your collective wisdom that can help you. Help you do what? Help you to close doors that don't need to remain open, right? Help you to drop swords that are in your back that don't need to remain there, right? Help you to see that within your emotional house, just like we saw the Eight of Swords in the Chariot in the beginning, like someone standing right before the chariot. I feel like the chariot will still knock the person over, but in a way, it will slow the chariot down. So the Death card says that, right? The endings, but it's not just to close a door. It's to close a door so there can be rebirth. So that there can be rebirth. Rebirth of what? Well, the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, and also allowing this healing. The Four of Swords to me also talks about taking the time that I need. There's no need to rush. Like taking the time to truly heal so that I can live in the Nine of Cups energy. Because when you're in the Nine of Cups energy, and again, it's when I'm feeling grateful, even if I don't have a lot, I'm feeling grateful for what I have. You know what I mean? It's just a very, I don't know, very loving type energy, very open type energy. It's still an independent energy with the number 9. And I feel like that's its point. It's to feel good on one's own. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring in the Gilded Tarot. I have to tell you, we have a nice mix of both decks on the table. And I just feel like they came out and they're telling the perfect story. Look at that. 4 of Wands on the bottom. Wow. I hope you make your way back out to the top. Alright, let's start at the beginning. Let's look at the 9 of Cups, the 6 of Cups, Temperance, and the 10 of Swords. Let's say that this is your twin within that 10 of Swords energy. Well, that's not good either. Right? That's not good either. Doesn't mean it can't be healed. It can be, but sometimes, we got to step outside of the situation. All right. We have the 3 of Swords, and it kind of wanted to come reverse, and I kind of feel that. That's the heartbreak of it all. That's the heartbreak of life, right? Those are those swords that actually pierced our heart. And it is a journey to overcome each and every one of them. But we don't remember in the four swords is 4 swords that create this healing. And that 4th sword is of myself. My part in whatever. In my life, I'm just looking, I'm reflecting. reflecting with no judgment. So that I can, why? So that you can learn spiritually. I feel like there's a lot of people who have this whole part of themselves that they don't put into play in this lifetime, and maybe you chose not to, but I feel like some were on that journey of learning that we have our whole spiritual side to help us on this physical plane. Okay, anyway. We have the Queen of Pentacles, can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Some of you probably is a Virgo because you have a Virgo card right below it. We have the Eight of Cups. Now, Eight of Cups is coming over Temperance. Some of you, maybe there is a Sagittarius that, I don't know, or a Sagittarius that needs to look within their own emotional house. But I feel this is talking more about divine energy, because we have to remember that Temperance is the controller of time, so to speak. And things will move when it's time for things to move. Certain things maybe have to be accomplished first. So Temperance is being very strong coming out here, talking about this Eight of Cups, right? Again, my emotional house. Because I don't want to base anything forward going on falsehoods of the past. You know what I mean? The two of Wands is free and clear and moving according to my desire and my passion. Doesn't mean I won't have challenges. But damn, I've been through a lot, right? Now I can get through them. So, we have the Two of Wands again. So now the Two of Wands is surrounding the Ten of Swords. I mean, if that's not a message, I don't know what is, right? And the person in this Two of Wands is looking up at the Ten of Swords. How interesting. It's funny because I feel like it's through my battle wounds that I then become the leader, right? Like, if I didn't have any scars, nobody would trust me as the Emperor. Right? I have battle scars. Two of Wands though, but I'm not staying within the battle. I won the battle. Time to go. I don't know if it could be any clearer. We have the Seven of Pentacles. You know what? That's another energy that talks about patience. And the reason patience is required is because, again, allowing things to come to full fruition, allowing things to develop. It's like if I pluck one of these seeds before it's time, it won't be ripe. It won't be ripe. So, I feel like when the seed falls to the ground, it's time to go. This is another energy where you can relax and say, okay, this journey is meant to be. What I'm learning here is how to be within this journey, right? How to be within this journey, how to maybe set boundaries, all that. But the Seven of Pentacles is a great energy of confirmation. And then we have the Magician. Let's go, right? Let's go. We're moving into Universal Year 6 next year, 2022. Excuse me. And, if nothing else, it talks a lot about stable relationships. Stable relationships. The Ten of Swords doesn't fit in the energy of stable. It's the opposite. So, the Magician. The Magician is the first person that the Fool meets along this new journey. And the Magician is the reminder that, during, when you're going through battle, you got to remember that you have all these tools at your disposal. And it is your mind, it is your intuition. It is your strength. It is what you have overcome. It is how you remain gentle, but yet you're strong. All of that, right? If you look at this, how you've grown through this journey, then you understand, why time was needed, right? So, anyways, the magician kind of feels like, okay, okay, coming over the hermit, let's go. Wow, let's go. We have the Knight of Cups. You know, perfect. This knight is bringing you in a cup. Or let's just say this cup and you will be meeting. And why I'm saying that is because, again, it's divine's hand here. So how it comes in, we don't know. The knight is unexpected, right? This is about like when the princess receives the cup from this knight. She wasn't expecting it, but I often feel like she was kind of feeling it though, right? Like her intuition was kind of, she could feel like a little fire burning, right? And here it is. Here it is. And first of all, it's coming over Temperance. So, can I trust this cup? I think so. And it's coming over the Emperor. Now, that can represent Aries, of course. But I feel like really what it's representing is the status of the Emperor. Male or female, by the way. To me, this is an earthly plan. Like an earthly plan. Like I've got to where I am because of, again, what I have been through. All of that. But this is coming out the other side, by the way. We have Justice. Some of you, Justice, first of all, card of Libra, touching the Ten of Swords. It can talk about, karmic justice. And I feel like, your guides would say, don't even worry your pretty little head about that. It's just real quick, I'm going to tell you a story. What I mean by that is I was, talking to someone and I was just talking about my ex. And I won't say which one, but it wasn't my last one, because we remained friendly. But, well, actually, I mean, I'm not unfriendly with anybody. But anyway, I was just talking. I was saying, you have to wonder what karma looks like. And all I have to do is look at my ex to see that he is living his karma. He may have had a good old time, right, when he was younger, but now his karma has hit. His karma has hit. And I feel like, and that's, not that I even want that. I don't even think about that. But I just had that realization. So I feel like for some, that's what your guides are saying. Like, don't worry. For those who have, let's say, done you wrong, right? Justice is here for you. When justice comes into a reading, it's about making you whole again. There's a lot of energy here about you feeling whole again. You trusting that, you're here for purpose. And trusting that when this cup that is coming is meant to come in, it will come in. And I feel like, and that's just what I need to know. Some of you could talk about a divorce also. Like this could talk about a real cutting of the ties within that Ten of Swords, right? Truly cutting those ties completely and maybe forever. Maybe it was a little bit of a karmic lesson. I don't know. But I feel like it is the cutting of those ties for some. And then we have the Page of Wands. So many of you who follow me know that, I don't know if I want to say follow, but who watch the videos. The Page of Wands to me is my fool. This is the one who takes risk, who takes chances. It's interesting. I have two princesses here. How do you say that? Could both be male, of course. There's two males showing up. But I also feel like it's talking, of earlier times with the page. I often feel like when I was of a younger age, when they were of a younger age, and maybe the Seven of Pentacles is coming really over both these pages to say that, you know, it was just meant to be the way it was. But that doesn't mean it's the way it's always going to be. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and it's interesting because it's kind of teetering on reverse also, but I feel like I didn't take any of the other ones in reverse, so we're going to keep it in mind, right? The Ace of Pentacles, I mean, I love that, coming under the Magician. This is the, you know, this is a pentacle. First of all, you have a cup coming in, right? You have so much confirmation of whoever it is and whenever it is. It all feels truly meant to be, right? Truly lessons that we are cleansing and getting over. Why? So that we can have a rebirth. You know, coming over the Death card, almost in reverse. It's almost like, you know, it's almost like our guides are saying, listen, until the door is closed, I have to just kind of dangle this pentacle. This is about something that comes into your physical world, by the way. This is something that's tangible. This isn't a dream. This is something that comes into your physical world. So it's saying when the door is closed, then what you've told the universe is, now I am open to receive, right? The Magician, your energy attached to that. The manifestation, the ability to manifest, right? And listen, I feel like it's just on both ends, truly. But, okay, let's look at, well, the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups. So we have the Queen of Cups that comes over that. Who's the perfect queen to come over that? Because she is the queen that is open to receiving. She's the queen who, excuse me one second. Okay, I had to pause you just for a second because my guy just kind of opened the door and came in, which is strange. Usually he knocks. Anyway, so the Queen of Cups, she can also be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have Scorpio right here. We already saw Cancer. We have the Ten of Wands. And then we have the High Priestess. So the Ten of Wands is coming over this Two of Cups. But the Ten of Wands is like, it's a heavy sense of responsibility. Again, it's a 10 though, right? It's almost like I've taken something for about as long as I can take it. But there is your own sense of responsibility within it. So I've taken a lot of it on my shoulders. It can be energy that you're not meant to carry around. Because again, the 10 is saying, let's close it. Let's close it, right? It's also touching the Two of Wands, something new, Two of Cups. But here's the healing over all of it. And, by the way, and the High Priestess. High Priestess is your intuition. And I feel like it's really the perfect card to close with because, you know, nobody can give you a guarantee of exactly when someone's coming in because there is so much free will, right? There is also the energy of truly where, like, we can't fit any more energy in us. We're stuffed, right? And we need to purge it. We need to purge so that new can come to us, right? We want to be open to that, to receiving. But to receive is saying that we're willing to close what needs to be closed. So I feel like that's just part of this journey. I know it very well. And, you know, there are ups and there are downs. There just are, but I guess that's in any relationship, right? But you truly do become each other's master teacher. So you've got to get yourself to that part, right? You got to be the master teacher, and that's what the Hermit is learning. to become the beacon of light for others. But first, I've got to shine that own light. I've got to have that light on me. So I'm going to leave that there, but I am going to read from Mother Mary, because I feel like this is talking about the Ten of Swords. I feel like it's also talking about the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Cups and Swords. Boundaries. Since God doesn't make victims, this card asks you not to act like one in any way. This is a message of self-empowerment. Instead of blaming others passively, convey your expectations and true feelings to them. Stand up for yourself, even if you risk conflict and confrontation. You can ask God, Jesus, and Mother Mary to guide your words so that you maintain your boundaries from a standpoint of love instead of fear. Others will respect you for being assertive, and you will respect yourself more too, because you're treating yourself lovingly. And I'm going to leave it there, guys. I love you. We'll do, keep your eyes open for, who knows when I'm going to do it. I hate to say mid-October because I may feel like doing it next month, or next week. So, but we'll have another one. We're going to look at both sides like that. I kind of love this. You tell me, though, because this is really for you. But to me, it felt very, very clear. But I guess it's your perception. So let me know what you think. As always, I love your comments. Thank you for sharing this video, the videos, helping my channel grow, all that. Just being so supportive of me. I love you guys. Thank you for donations. Every bit helps. It's truly what keeps the channel alive, unless you're a big channel. Like, I don't know. I don't know how big is big, but much bigger than me. So, thank you. Just thank you for everything. Thank you for your support. I love you guys. I wish you, it's like, I wish you joy on this path, but I know you can't always have that joy. So I wish you joy and I wish you strength, but ultimately I wish you the unconditional love that you deserve. And I feel, first of all, I know that you have from your guides, from Mother Mary, from God, Jesus, from, your whole spiritual team. But that other person is there, and, they're there for eternity, by the way. Well, because I feel like if somebody doesn't meet their twin within, or if they don't come together, maybe they're not meant to. But it's like I kind of see you as you both cross over. Like, weren't we supposed to meet in that lifetime? That type of thing. So anyway, just trust in divine, but in no way hold yourself back from anything. Create, enjoy, and be open to receiving. And I'm telling you, the universe will respond. I love you guys. I will see you next time at my table. Bye-bye.